Guys, not only I'm not able to get a bride price, but I was asked to pay to get married. Can you believe that? I'm just feeling so depressed about it. Please listen to my story and comment down below regarding my situation. Please. A recent viral discussion has sparked intense debate over the struggles of older single women seeking marriage. This is getting a little bit personal over here. The conversation, which took place between a man and a woman, highlighted the harsh reality that some women in their late 30s face when trying to find a partner. The woman now in her 30s lamented that in her 20s she had saw a man with a house, a car, and good looks, but was unable to find one. Now, she has significantly lowered her standards. She no longer insists on a bride price, and appearance is no longer a priority. However, the man responded bluntly, "The reason you didn't find such a man is not that they don't exist, but because they don't choose you. If they were interested, you would have already been married." He then compared her situation to a seller with unsold vegetables. Give me a break. If your cabbages are not selling at 2 yuan per pound, you need to lower the price. If they don't sell, you might as well give them away for free or use them as fertilizer. What? Give them away for free or use them as fertilizer. Anyways, shocked by the analogy, the woman insisted she had already lowered her standards, but the man pushed her further, saying she should pay to get married, meaning she should provide not only the bride price, but also the house and car. What? Why is it so? At your age, marrying someone is a burden for a man. They spend money on the wedding, and later they might find out that having children with you comes with risks. So why will they find out later? Supposedly they are mature enough to know this from the very beginning. With so many aging women competing for marriage, you need to compete harder. Young women can demand a bride price, but you should be the one offering money. This is just pure nonsense. Why is it so, guys? Because a few stories ago, I was just telling how there are so many like men without a wife because there's an excess of men over women. So there are so many men over there, but as well there are so many women without a partner because they're high standards. Somewhat they are lonely men as well as lonely women. Just in China, of course. The woman countered that she frequently visits matchmaking corners. Oh my God. I'm just tempted this time to visit a matchmaking corner. No, should I? On my next visit to China, just to see. I know, that's just a little bit too lame. Maybe I'm just gonna go in like dating apps and so on. So in order to see what my luck is. Which I hope for the best, of course. Anyhow, actively looking for a husband, but the man dismissed her efforts. Can you compete with young women? It's just like saying, like, let's say from another point of view, the perspective of a woman being told all these stories which I've been telling, she can ask him, can you compete with a millionaire? I mean, regarding the offerings, the bride price, the gifts, the wedding, whatever, right? I don't think this is a question to be asked, regarding like women's age competing with others as well as men competing with other men about the resources. I think it's just not civilized. Anyhow, I mean, it's not told, obviously it's there, and we know it's there, it exists. Women compete with beauty and youth, and men compete with resources. But you don't have to be that blunt and just talk about it, because that is just a little bit way too not elegant and just bad taste upon myself. So if a man were to tell me, like, would you compete with a young one? That is just goodbye. Anyways, let's keep listening. Can you compete with a younger woman? Younger women may ask for bride price, but you should be offering money. Otherwise, why would someone marry you? Your expectations are too high. You think you are selling seafood, but in reality, you are just vegetables on the streets. This is just being very mean. Rich men are not fools, they want to pick you. He went as far as to suggest that she should consider marrying an older bachelor from the countryside. I can introduce you to some rural men who need a wife. You just need to provide them with financial security, and then you can marry and have a child. Stop dreaming about the rich and handsome men. If you don't act now, it will be too late. Many older single women are already suffering, crying on social media because they are alone. Well, let me tell you that there are also so many men crying on social media because they, not just that they are alone, but they're quite sure they will not be able to get one because of the high nonsense standards in China, as well as not just the standards, the whole situation they're happening. This conversation, though extreme, reflects the pressure many single women in China face as their age. So yeah, in China, women face the situation of being aged and not wanted, just like anywhere around the world. But also it's in China where men face the situation of having the pressure of their lives to get the resources enough to be like a husband material for a girl over there upon the requirements. In traditional Chinese society, marriage is often seen as necessity, and women past a certain age are labeled as leftover women. So why are you guys not just getting this woman, because many of them are still very beautiful and very like somehow wise compared to young women? So you guys prefer to be single because apparently it's like that, since there are so many articles talking about how many men are not getting wives because there's a shortage of women. And at the same time, other articles are talking about how many women are being left over because of their age. Like, what? So you just leftover woman, you are like intentionally leaving this woman out of the market because of their age, but at the same time you have the problem of woman shortage. Anyways, this is China, the mindset. Let's keep reading the story. Many men, particularly those considered high value in terms of wealth and status, prefer to marry younger women, leaving older single women with fewer options. This discussion also highlights the economic aspect of marriage in China. The bride price. A sum of money or gifts given by the groom's family to the brides is a long-standing tradition. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like it's gonna end soon, although in some cities, regarding, the location, if it's a county, if it's a province, if it's a specific city, a specific like mega city, first tier city, 5-tier city, the price of the bride dowry depends. So yeah, if you guys married one, tell me what is the dowry that you pay for that Chinese wedding. The discussion also highlights the economic aspect of marriage in China. The bride price, a sum of money or gifts, I read that. It's a long-standing tradition. In recent years, as bride prices have risen, some women have considered foregoing them to make themselves more attractive marriage candidates. However, as the viral conversation suggests, even waiving the bride price may not be enough. Some argue that older women should instead pay to get married. Just don't pay, girls. So these guys just prefer to stay single just because you are aged. But it doesn't make any sense. I'm just very tired of this nonsense of leftover women and leftover men. The conversation has triggered widespread debate on Chinese social media. Some netizens sympathize sympathize with the woman criticizing the harsh and materialistic view of marriage. Marriage shouldn't be reduced to a business transaction. It's sad that women are being told to pay to get married. Why is it always women who have to lower the standards? Shouldn't men also reflect on what they bring to the table? Others, however, agree with the men's brutal assessment. This is just reality. Men want younger women for marriage and children. Older women have to be more realistic. If you're 35 and still single, you should be grateful if someone is willing to marry you, even if you have to pay. What? So this is just kind of telling us, 35 plus girls, women, that to prepare our bag in order to get them, That's just pure nonsense. There's a foreigner here saying, please stop using the term leftover for human beings. It sounds so wild. Exactly. That's the whole idea about how they portray their own society and individuals. Like they make part of the society, so they should be respected and have the dignity they deserve. Instead, they just classify them or qualify them as a go or a rotten vegetable that should be even used for fertilizer instead of being like a valuable person, because upon his eyes, she's of no use anymore. That's just too harsh. There's not such a thing as leftover in most countries. These are foreigners commenting on that. As even women in their 60s still seek boyfriend and marriage too. Exactly. In foreign countries, like I was in Australia last year, and my mom was like in an ape, and she saw many candidates, and very good looking ones, even like I was surprised. Anyway, Chinese women should move abroad to look for more opportunities. Precisely, if these women were to come to Mexico, they for sure will find candidates here, especially that even 35 or say 45, they still look great. So upon here standards, they will look so fine and so young and fresh that even a 30 or a 20 something can even take them, It's not a problem, or even like whoever. I don't think the problem is age, but the problem is their mindset of the Chinese society and their strict structure regarding dating. So I love these comments from foreigners that are encouraging them to not feel that way, and that apart from China, everything or any country around the world is just working in a different way. Leftover should be amended and reserved only for subhuman strays. Agree. Leftovers should be just like food leftovers, because I wouldn't accept it even if it's for animals. Anyways, why are you so hard on yourself? Just because you are a subhuman stray doesn't mean you are less worthy of being alive than a human. There's nothing wrong of being. That's just crazy. Okay. Simply look to other countries for a marriage mate. Very easy. The more women stop conforming to nonsense patriarchal laws, the easier it will be for them. Exactly. And that's the whole reason why so many women in China are revealing themselves and just tired of the society and the family and the pressure of even the government just putting on them this term of leftover, of expired, of too old. Because, you can still be... For some men, it's because they're old and they're not beautiful. But there are so many old, or not old, let's say my age, maybe 30 old, 37 or plus, still looking great. So why not? So you will prefer a younger one just in order to have children over one that is beautiful and you can fall in love with her, because you don't have the assurance that you can have children. Nonetheless, here in Mexico, I have many friends that had children, 40 plus. Of course, maybe it's not as recommended, but still, once again, we can just assure that they are not looking for love, but they are precisely looking for a womb or a uterus to procreate their children, And that's pretty much it. They don't much look for the individual per se who they can share the rest of the lives with, or the characteristics of the individual, apart from having like a vagina and an uterus and a young womb in order to have supposedly a healthy child, compared to 35 plus women who might not be as safe as, and yes, you might also question where the Chinese women are also looking for the bag in men. So yeah, both of them are kind of, Anyways, let's keep reading some comments. This phrase, leftovers, shouldn't be used to tag women. It's uncivilized and insulting to such phrases. In 2024, the sex ratio in China was about 104 males to 100 females. So what about the leftover men? Exactly. So they are just there, Tens of millions of them, mostly in the countryside. You are so mean for women. What you share is one-sided. And then another answer. He's not mean. A man has to have a car, house, and 200K bride price. No to cook and clean, and you don't think the women are mean? These men deserve what they offer. Let them suffer for it. Actually, after marriage, women have to do almost all the housework, including cooking and cleaning, and far more than that. After marriage, the property you mentioned above belong to women themselves. Women even have to pay the house car installment with men. This just gives men a meathood to show his ability. If a man can share the housework, can share the responsibility of providing his family, he will not face such situations, such as high bride price. In some areas, high bride price is often associated with some drawbacks on men, or he wants a better partner in looking or academic. If you want to attract attention in this way, please stop at once. It's immoral. Then tell us, what does she bring to the table? She wants rich and handsome, but what does she get out of it? She apparently neither wealthy or beautiful. Oh my God. Guys, it's February, it's almost St. Valentine's, and I'm ready to go in the dating market. So I will also start my quest to find the one person that I want to marry. Hopefully, I will find him without this stressful, this tension and stress that I'm reading in all these stories. And then, this guy is just a hater. I just really love how respectful these foreigners were in this article, precisely pointing out that this guy is just very lame, talking in that way to a girl. Besides, the girl is not bad at all, it's not bad looking. I'll show it to you shortly. Just widen your net. I'm sure you will find someone internationally. They're so sweet. I'm also gonna widen my net because so far I haven't found anyone that I like it, or that he liked me that much in order to get married in Mexico. So I feel that one husband is not in Mexico, must be abroad somewhere. And okay. POF. What is POF in the sea? Plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah. But definitely, trending here in China as educational is getting better. Women are now focusing on careers over settling down. And men haven't lost the mentality of what equals a quality partner from other traditions. Haven't lost. Yeah, exactly. People have a best before date. That's just reality. Best before what? Expired. I don't feel inspired at all, actually. I just feel quite fine. Please don't call them leftover. Have some ethics and etiquettes. I love you guys. You are my tribe. Now the woman knows how she made every man feel that liked her, unwanted and unable to get who they want simply because she didn't see them as rich enough and handsome enough. So now, even at her offer of zero bride price, the men who wanted her no longer needed her. They found alternatives. She didn't. Why is it always women who have to lower their standards? Shouldn't men also reflect on what they bring to the table? It will seem if a man choose her, then they already lowered their standards. There were some mean comments as well. Uh, Difficult to find a young woman for many Chinese men as well, due to excess in number of men in China. That's the whole issue, but they still, like girls still hold tight to their standards. No matter the guys are not there, but they hold tight, as well as men still hold tight to their standards of finding young, beautiful women for them. So none of them are being satisfied, and therefore both of them are just being left over alone. Just to emphasize the term once again, What do you guys think about this? If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as well as be welcome to support me down below and buy me a coffee or PayPal donation. I will be very happy if you do so. And with lots of love from Mexico, Mar. And by the way,